Hey, everybody, it's Nicole and Dr with Thrive, and I got my good buddy and now my colleague, which I'm super stoked about, Dr. Colton O'Brien. Hi, Colton.
That's right. What's up, everybody? Cool.
All right, here we go. Let's rock and roll. So last week on our last episode, we talked about how you were just getting ready. We have an opening date, right? A goal opening date. I think it's March 6th.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Awesome. And we were talking about how you were just getting ready to go out to the stores and have a little fun and do some purchases for your new practice. Did you get to that?
We did. That's what we did. I think Tuesday, Wednesday, did a lot of shopping. That was a lot of fun. So I know my mom and my wife had been looking forward to that day to kind of. I talk a lot about how I want it to feel in the practice, and I have my vision and my floor plan and everything. But like they really have eyes for the things that bring the feeling about, if that makes sense. And so like they really with their eyes and like what I described, I feel like we really elevated the space. It is like, it's not your big grandiose practice and it's just a room, but like we have the opportunity in that room to really to elevate the room, I guess is essentially elevate it at the same time ground it too is kind of like what our focus. So like really making it a place where people can step out of the hustle and bustle of life and step into like that calming place where they know that like healing truly begins in. So yeah, we're excited for things to come through, and my table is about to be here, which I can't wait. And yeah, we're getting really close. So it's exciting.
That is so exciting. And that's one of the funnest parts of creating this whole thing too. It's like, we worked so I don't want to say work. I don't know. On your end, does it feel like work? It doesn't feel like work to me.
It doesn't really feel like work. That's what's cool. There's like a peace about it. So it's just like
Yeah.
I heard someone say like the day you retire is the day you finish chiropractic school. So it kind of feels that way. Like I'm definitely working, but it's a different type of work,
Yeah, I know, right? And now, like, it's really cool because now you get to work toward, creating exactly what it is that you want, what resonates with you, and what your dream is, and what your vision is, and
Mm-hmm.
exactly how you're explaining, when you guys went shopping or whatever, you're just explaining how as you're picking this stuff out for your office, it's really what it is really an expression of you and what you feel on the inside of your body, and that's what's going to be, and that's what's going to be expressed in your outside and in your physical world and your environment that you're creating, which is so awesome, and it is so much fun. One of the things that I think it's an important thing to say, because the people that are watching this podcast are probably in situations just like you where maybe they're getting ready to graduate, or they did graduate and they want to open up their own practice, or maybe they're an associate and they want to leave their associate position and open their own practice, but they're afraid to. We just did a whole live on limiting beliefs and how 95% of the things that we do are controlled by the subconscious mind, right? And and so I think that it's important that we share a little bit of this, because you had to have some kind of uncertainty when you were like spending probably thousands of dollars and you haven't even opened your clinic yet. Can you speak on that? Like, what did that happen, and what did you do?
Yeah, that's been kind of crazy because the whole like most of January was getting things ready, kind of getting things on paper, what I need to purchase, and doing all the like the back end stuff for the business. And then I was waiting on my account to be open and the funds to transfer to my business account. And then like it seems like as soon as it was all there, it's like been purchase after purchase after purchase. And like I really haven't spent money like this in my life. Like I've been in school, and so I really haven't had like a huge amount of money like to spend. And so like making these giant purchases like over and over and again it's a stressor for sure. And so like I have been getting overwhelmed a little bit about it, but I also, yeah, like there's been times where I have to remind myself like, hey, this is not a expense, it's an investment. And yeah, and you actually talked to me about that early on in this process. Like, stop saying things are expenses, because they're not expenses; they're investments. Because everything that I'm spending is so the experience for the people that are coming in is going to be that much greater. And when their experience is that much greater, they're going to heal, they're going to get results, they're going to keep coming, they're going to tell people. And all that is an exchange of energy. And with that exchange of energy, more money is going to flow into me. So I'm getting in the thinking state and the feeling state of abundance, and knowing that, like, one, the Lord guides my steps, and He's got it all figured out. Obviously being wise and not just making foolish purchases, but understanding that it takes money to make money. And I know that plenty of money is going to come. So it's just different. It's new. It's just like anything. It's an opportunity to recenter yourself and focus on what your mission is and what your goal is. And my
Mhm.
mission and goal is to serve as many people as possible. And if I'm serving that many people, the money will be there. It's just a little hard right now whenever I'm watching my bank account dwindle, but it's for good reason.
Yeah, yeah. So, man, you said so many. I mean, I hope that people are really getting what you're putting down, because you had so many golden nuggets in that, what you just said. And it is. It's all about focus. It's all about focus. And what happens is when you start to do something that you've never done before, it freaks your brain out. It's like all of it, like you need to do it, right? Like you know what you
Mm,
need to do, but the brain says, "Oh no, Colton, don't do that. We were happy before. We were safe before. And now you're putting us in a position where you're spending our money and we're not safe anymore." That's what your brain's doing.
yeah.
And when your brain does that, if you allow it to go on, it'll actually shift or change your physiology. And when your physiology changes, now we got a problem, because now you're functioning in scarcity, you're functioning in lack, you're vibrating at a lower level, you don't your health starts to decline, you're not sleeping, and that's a problem, because then with all that we start attracting negatives into our life, right?
Mm,
So the thing that I thought you said was so important is you said, I just kept focusing on my vision. And um, that's why, when we start out with the Jumpstart program, that's our first program, right? We started with the Jumpstart program, and what was the first? Do you remember it was a while for you, but do you remember what the first module was? Module number one, it was creating what?
mission, vision, core values, and then we also set like goals for like in the future and like right now, or like as you progress. And we also wrote about what it feels like to be in like our office. And so like I remember writing that, like I could like viscerally feel the experience, the smell, the what it looked like, what it sounded like in there, what was happening. Just I could get, and now I can get into that feeling state of what my dream practice looks like because we did that module.
Yes, and that's why I made it module number one, because I've been through this. Like I know that you're going to go through times where you're going to feel fear. You're going to feel uncomfortable. You could like it can actually be physically painful to change your belief systems and do something that you've never done before. And
Mm-hmm.
I wanted you to have that solid vision so that you could pull that out and you could refocus your mind on all that stuff you wrote down, on what that vision was. And that's why we did that. That's
Mm-hmm.
why we did that. Now you did. I'm so freaking proud of you. Number one, let me just tell you how proud I am of you. You did. Notice the word, guys. Did, do. It's a verb. It's action. It's massive action, because that's what gets results. You did your very first final screening, and you don't even have your equipment yet. Like your table is not even there. You don't have an equipment yet. You don't have. I don't think you have your software up and ready yet. I don't think. I think like you just got, I think, chairs, right? And
Yeah.
yet you still went out, you've been doing talks, you've been making connections and groups around your community, and now you just did your first final screening.
Mm-hmm.
How did that go? Like, did you, what happened?
It was great. So I was just kind of I think I talked a little bit last week of how I got it. I emailed a dude that was putting on the Plano Half Marathon, and he's like, "Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of vendors. It's cold, it's early, but yeah, you can come out if you want." So I did. I paid $100 to set up a booth spot. Probably could even talk him down to less if I in hindsight if I wanted to, but yeah. Then I texted three like really passionate chiropractic students, and I said, "Hey, do y'all want to grow? Do y'all want to develop y'all's ability to communicate chiropractic tomorrow?" And they were like, "Yeah, I'll be there in a heartbeat." So I got everything ready, and we got out to the half marathon at like I think 6 a.m. So I got up early, got it all set up, and we had a table, kind of had some information explaining who we are, what we do. We had a banner, and a spine and a few like nerve charts, and we were just talking to people. Wasn't like a hard like, hey, we're trying to sell you or anything. It was just more so like an opportunity to like spread the message about chiropractic, and then people that wanted to get on the table, we do kind of like a touch and tell. Like I would just kind of go through my like chiropractic analysis and tell them what I felt and what that could lead. Like, hey, this area of the spine, these nerves go here, and just kind of started talking chiropractic to them, which was really cool and just an opportunity to educate. Because there's even people that would sit on the table like, yeah, we're out of town. There's no way we're gonna come in for care, but I still got to share the message, which was cool. And then we got about like I'd say like 11 or so leads, like put their email, their contact information down and said they want to learn more. And then we got like 4 people to sign up right there on the spot. What I noticed there is like there's people that like were seeking me out, and there are people that are like, "Hey man, stay away from me. I'm trying to run my race," and that's fine. Like, but it was cool. It was a good opportunity to experience that rejection and know like they're not rejecting me. Like it's not anything against me. It's just like people are just living their lives, and the people that are meant for you and that want you, they're gonna find you if you put yourself out there. Like the people that wanted to sign up for care have been looking for a chiropractor, but they just haven't had the opportunity to meet one. And I think being with someone and seeing like chiropractic is it's a very personable profession, and like to get to see the doc right there who's gonna have his or her hands on you, and then with who I am, I feel like it just created a lot of trust. Like, okay, I can schedule with this guy, and so we got him on the books, and yeah, it was a fantastic experience. It was an opportunity to grow.
Nice.
Yeah. That's kind of what I guess that's the extent of it. And we were done. We were done before 11 in the morning on a Saturday. I had the rest of my Saturday to go hang out and enjoy the day.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. And earlier we weren't recording this, but we were just chit chatting while we were waiting for our time here. And you spoke a lot about momentum. Like you feel like you have a lot of momentum.
Hmm.
And I feel like that's what I feel like I'm a parrot, or like I feel like sometimes the people that I coach maybe you guys think I'm going senile or something because I always repeat myself.
Repetition.
But like that's the thing is like you got to get momentum, and you have to take massive action. And even when your brain says like no, don't do it, or no, you're not ready, like you have to do it.
Yeah.
know the brain's going to be like, no, your practice isn't ready. The brain's going to go like, you don't even have your table yet, like don't do that, because it's unsafe, right?
Hmm.
So I love one of my mentors. I'll share this with you, Colton. I think you'll like this. But one of my mentors used to say, like, we feel to get out into the world and outside of our like brick and mortar to share the message. Sometimes we feel afraid. We're afraid of rejection or whatever it may be. Like we're afraid of the unknown. We're afraid of people not accepting the chiropractic message. And what he said was, he goes, if you look at any world changer, anybody that changed the world, like Martin Luther King, like these people went out and they had a message and they shared the message with the world. And like some of them were assassinated. And he would say, I'm pretty sure as chiropractors, we don't have to be worried about going to a spinal screening and getting assassinated, right? And I
Yeah.
was like, when he said that, I was like, oh my God, yeah, like my job is so much easier.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I think like your mission and like what you believe has to be bigger than like your current state, like what you're feeling. Like,
Yeah.
because it's hard, you know, you never. I mean, maybe some people are, but I am never the type of person. Like I can't wait to stand up in front of a whole room and speak. Like, you know, that's not like where my mind goes. But I know when I'm done doing it, someone in that room is going to be better off because of it, and I'm going to be better off because of it because I took that chance.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. All right. So now I think you have a total so far of like 6 new patients already scheduled.
Hmm.
Your opening day is supposed to be March 6th, and I'm sure you either have or you're working on getting some more events. But let's talk a little bit about what we've been doing in the accelerated program. So you graduated from the Jumpstart program with Thrive. Now you're into the accelerated program with Thrive, and we've been working really hard on the day one. And one of the things that we've been working hard on is your pre-consultation. And so this is so important, guys, because we just can't like just open the practice and do the marketing and then people come in, because you have to know what to do with the people once they come in. Like
Yeah.
you have to have some kind of system in place. You have to know, how are you going to handle all these people? Where are you going to put them? What are you going to say to them? And so part of the system that we're learning is that pre-consultation. And one of the things that I love so much about the pre-consultation is that really all the pre-consultation is our philosophy. Well, the
Hmm.
way I teach it anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? It's our philosophy. And and I think that that's so important, because the more conviction and certainty that you have walking into that room about and knowing of your philosophy, then really it just translates into what becomes your quote unquote scripted pre-consultation. And one of the things that you can rest assured is that, like you said, like like you said, not every single person is going to be a lifelong patient in your practice. But one of the things you can rest your head at night, rest well at night about, is that even if they don't convert into care, they're leaving your practice knowing what chiropractic is.
Hmm.
And I think that that's so important. So how has your like pre-consult been coming along, and what do you think about it? How are you feeling about it?
Better and better each day with just like the little bit of practice that I have. Because it's funny because I have got to practice it every day. What I've been doing a lot of in the one thing I might need to be better at saying no to these, but like anytime someone's reaching out in the community to grab like a coffee or connect, like I'm saying yes. So like this week, I probably could have done a little more work on like the back end of my stuff, but I spent most of the week just like going and meeting people in the community, having coffee, learning about their business. But then there's always an opportunity to like, what? Okay, so what do you do? And I used to just be like, I would just like whatever came to my head, I'd say it. But now it's less. It's not really a script, but kind of. I'm just like taking that time to explain chiropractic to them, and so it's pretty much the pre-consult script, and then as they ask questions, then we expand and stuff. But yeah, so I've gotten plenty of practice on that, so it's been fun to practice the pre-consult script for sure.
That's awesome. And oh man, it's a couple of things. I have to point this out. If you guys didn't catch this, and you said, sometimes I should, I might have, sorry. You're saying like sometimes I feel like maybe I should be saying no to these people, but I'm spending a lot of time, connecting with people out in the community. And I would tell you, Colton, like that's exactly what you should be doing.
Mm.
And spending as much time in your community, building relationships and making connections is the best thing that you can do for yourself. Why? Because think in terms of all that other stuff that's like in the back of your mind, like that you have to do, like you have to get like a software system and set it up and like set up your tables and all. And like, yes, all that stuff has to be set up. All the back end stuff needs to be set up, like your files and your paperwork and all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, it has to be done. But here's the thing: you keep building connections in in relationships in your community, your practice is going to be so flooded with new patients and patient conversions that you can hire a person who lives to do that shit. Like there
Yeah.
are people on the planet that like love administrative work. That's why they are administrators. They thrive on it. Like
Hmm.
there are people on the planet that you can hire and they will thrive on getting your EHR system up and running for you. I have one of them. Her name is Kayla. You know, Kayla loves getting a project. She did our whole switch in our EHR system from Platinum to Cairo HD, and
Wow.
she did, I would say, 90% of it. And we had to, like, we weren't starting fresh, so we had to like switch all of our active patients over,
Wow.
and she thrived.
That's
By the
cool.
end, she was ready to be done. But here's the thing: is that's not where my expertise lies.
Hmm.
Like, I'm not. If I tried to sit down for even just an hour to do that, to do administrative, Kelly's laughing right now because she knows she's shaking her head and she's laughing. You guys can't see her. I would be like miserable. I mean, I would rather pull a tooth out with no Novocaine than do administrative work. I hate it. I'm not good at it. I actually get physically angry when I have to do it. You put me at an adjusting table, I'll be in peace all day long, no matter what,
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
you know? So what's my point? You know, you're lovable, you're attractive, and when I say attractive, I mean you're energetically attractive to people. People want to be around you. That's your
Hmm.
gift. Use your gift and then pay somebody to do all that other stuff. Why? Because by you using your gift of attractiveness, once again, and I'm repeating myself, I know I'm not senile, so this is important. By you using your gift of attractiveness, you're going to attract so many patients into your practice that you're not going to have any problem paying somebody to do all of those things for you, to do all
Hmm.
the things that either you hate doing or you don't like love to do,
Yeah. Absolutely.
you
So
know?
that,
So,
yeah, I I've noticed that like I do like just I'm a relational person, so connecting with people, sharing chiropractic, and then just being on the table, like there's nothing I enjoy more. I find a little bit when I get into a project, I'm good at the administrative stuff, but like starting the administrative stuff is hard for me. But right now, where when I don't have that person to hire quite yet, I just gotta just do it, you know.
yeah, yeah, you do. You have to get it done.
Yeah.
You
But
do. But
people are responding to I guess you call it the pre-consult, but really just like sharing the philosophy. Like I sat down with this lady yesterday, and she like I met her at a chamber event, and she was like, I feel like we were brought together for a reason, and she just wanted to learn about how like chiropractic can be an asset to her and how it can like help transform her nervous system essentially because she has a lot of stuff going on. And like first thing I said was like, look, hey, I am not here to treat your symptoms. Like I am not here to be a pain pill for you. Like what I'm focused on is removing subluxation from your spine. And like she received it so well. And like it was just another one of those meetings. And like I look at my schedule and she had signed up like right after our meeting. And so I was like the
oh,
coolest thing because she's like, wow, I wish more people knew about this. And she's like, I have women's groups, I have all this stuff. She's like like a an awesome person in the community. And so she's like, I can't wait to get you set up for talks. Like more women need to hear about this. More people in this community need to hear about this. So I'm excited just to see where that goes.
yeah. Hey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because this has been like a sticking point for some practitioners. So when you're sitting down and talking to a woman like this, right? And she starts telling you about all of her health concerns.
Hmm.
Does your mind ever go to like does your mind ever go to like, oh, she just wants pain relief? Or do you
With
or are
with a
you
lot
so
of
grounded or I was gonna say, or are you so grounded in your philosophy that your mind just always goes to like health and healing?
So the question is, whenever they're talking about all like their physical ailments, does my mind go to, oh, they just want pain relief, or am I rooted in my philosophy to the point where like I'm just focused on their health and healing?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I'll give you let me give you an example of what I hear, and people ask me this a lot. like people who will be out in the community like yourself, and they'll be having these conversations, and their mind gets like veered, their focus gets veered off of the principle a little bit to, oh, now this person just wants to talk about symptoms, and they get frustrated.
Mm,
They get like like frustrated, like, oh, this person just wants me to like take care of their symptoms.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, sometimes yes, sometimes no. I'm getting better each day of just like receiving the information. I'm getting better about not being reactional and not assuming,
Mm.
but looking at everything as an opportunity to educate. Like, yeah. Even if they are talking about symptoms, like what is a symptom? It's just an expression of dis-ease in the body. It's not a thing. It's not an entity. It's like it is not. It is not. But what it is an effect of subluxation in the spine. It's after you have, you know, dis-ease and dysfunction, then does-ease, and then poor health. It's just like it's a chain of events that lead to those symptoms, and I just try and explain that as thoroughly as I can to them. And if it goes over their head, it goes over their head. And if they get it, it's a whole new way of thinking about what a symptom even is in the first place. So that's what I use that for. Like I had a really, really hard conversation with a guy who's we sat down. His wife has like very like late stage cancer, and we just like we're just talking about the body. And like I wasn't sitting here saying like, "Hey, I'm here because I think chiropractic is going to heal your wife of breast cancer." But I was talking to him. I was like, "Hey, man, like." Everyone functions better with a clear and connected nervous system. Everyone functions better when there's no subluxation in the spine, and just kind of leaving it at that. And so that was just a cool opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I remember when I was in chiropractic school and I was learning how to do this. I had a coach. I hired a coach when I was in chiropractic school to teach me how to build a practice. And I remember like being afraid of like having that conversation where somebody would come up and be like, "Well, yeah, you can't help me because I have cancer." And I was like afraid. I was young, so I was like, I really had a fear of like having those deep conversations with somebody, until I got older and more mature, and then I was like, I was good with it. But um I love the way that you handled that, because it is true. I mean, the bottom line is that everybody is going to function at a higher level no matter what they have going on when there's free and clear subluxation.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's like, what's your objective? Is my objection to go, or is my objective to go in there and remove the cancer? No, not even close. My objective is to analyze the spine for subluxation and remove that subluxation so she has the best possibility to heal. Because everyone heals whenever the brain and the body are have that connection, have that loop of communication.
Mhm. I love how you brought the some of the 33 principles in there.
So it's about.
Cause and effect. I like that.
Yeah,
All right, man. Well, we are coming to the end of our awesome time together, Colton. This time always flies by.
it does. We always have fun.
I know we do. All right, man. So have a great weekend. Keep kicking. Thanks for listening to Thrive in Chiropractic with your host for today, Dr. Nicole Bonner and Dr. Colton O'Brien. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into all the tips and tricks you can use to build your practice. If you're keen to follow more stories of students and chiropractors becoming practice owners, you can as always, you can head over to our Facebook group, Turning Students and Chiropractors into Business Owners, and become a part of a community of emerging chiropractic entrepreneurs. All right, that's all for this episode, folks. See you next time. If you'd like to find out more about any of the programs Thrive offers, visit our website at thrivechirocoaching.com to join my email list and find extra resources and info.